Yes, thank you for calling the doctor's office. This is the American Scotch Doctor, Dr. Dave. How can I help you? Oh, Laphroaig. Nope, I don't have any of that. Welcome everybody to the doctor's office. I'm the American Scotch Doctor, Dr. Dave, and today I have a bottle of Laphroaig. This is a 10-year-old bottle, their flagship bottling here. This is, when you think peat, when you think Islay smoke, this is the bottle that you're going to be thinking of primarily. Today we're going to be getting into a little bit about why this is so smoky, why Islay Whiskies, and this one in particular, are so sought after. Stick with us here because we're about to get into some Laphroaig. If you guys have not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. Hit the thumbs up button, it really helps out a ton. But make sure you share this with a friend or friends if you think anybody's going to use this or could, actually enjoy this a little bit. So today, as I got into here, we've got Laphroaig 10-year-old. I haven't had this in about 3 years or so, roughly. Not even a sip of Laphroaig. I had the quarter cask, was the last bottle I bought. I was a little disappointed. Don't know if it was the bottle. I don't know if it was myself or not understanding what was going on. Regardless, Laphroaig 10 was the bottle that really got me into enjoying Scotch whiskey. I liked it when I first hit 21. I was able to drink. I liked some Johnny Walker Black, and I got excited with that. But once I had this, I said, what in the heck is Scotch whiskey if that's what's going to be in a bottle of it? So I've actually been real excited and I've really enjoyed this bottle. This was a gift I got this year for Christmas. So what makes Laphroaig smoke so unique? This is Islay smoke you're talking. So this is island smoke that they're generally, or peat I should be saying, that they're collecting from an island and generally kind of closer to the coast. So you're going to get saltier, more seaweed plant stuff. It's going to be more of a seaweed style based smoke as compared to a more inland woody style of smoke. As I said in my last, in the Islay whiskey discussion there, Laphroaig does, I believe it's about a 17-hour initial dry with peat smoke when the barley is wet. And I apparently they do then a finishing air dry for about 19 hours. So it's 17 hours approximately with a really heavy coarse smoke with the wet peat or with the wet barley, and then they finish drying the barley with air. That ends up locking in the flavors rather than drying it later after it's already been air dried or doing it heavily at the same time. Slowly smoking it with that peat initially cause it to hold on to this. There's a couple of different compounds, I guess they would say, or phenolic compounds that are very unique to Laphroaig. Let me make sure that I have these. I think one is Creosote. So this is something also can be common with different barbecuing things. They try to avoid, usually with food items, they try to avoid a buildup of creosote. It's when you heavily smoke something for a long time, it can build up creosote, which is generally a bitter tasting, can cause your tongue to go maybe a little bit numb. And with them drying this wet, it's going to hold on to that even so much more than when they're doing it when it's a little bit more dry. The other one, 4-ethyl guaiacol, which is more of a woodsy clove spice, kind of definitely more of a woodsy style of smoke. Let's get into the nose. Really been enjoying this. It's a lot milder. I've had this open now for a little over 3 weeks now, and I kind of got into it literally the first day. I shared it a little bit. No, I didn't. Not this bottle. No, I didn't share this bottle. I've just drank all this myself. Don't tell anybody. But it's changed. It's much more mellow. Initially, it was definitely more iodine. When I say that, it's salty, chemically smelling. Now it's more reminiscent of an Ardbeg than this. And I'm not saying that this is similar to an Ardbeg, but more mellow woodsy notes on the nose rather than this heavy phenolic, and maybe some of that creosote has come out of this a little bit because I don't know what it was about that super bitterness, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was so happy, and for a 10-year-old bottle, I mean, I think it's $50 for a fifth of this out the door. So it's, you know, it's an expensive bottle of whiskey at the end of the day, but my goodness, it's a blast from the past. It's something that you just sip on and you taste it. You take a sip of it and you can taste it 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later if you don't drink any water or do anything else. All right. So, seaweed. The real heavy dead notes that I was noticing back a couple weeks ago, I'm not noticing it so much right now. I mean, they're there. It's really nice. I'm impressed with this. I'm really happy with this. Good job. And I feel like last time I bought a bottle of this, I was kind of turned off because of the colorant. This doesn't seem as dark as what I bought back in the day. Maybe I'm wrong on that. And it seems to just taste maybe a little sweeter. Not so astringent, and I don't know what the heck was going on with it, but the last few batches I bought, I just was not impressed. This is turning it around though. A little bit of pepper, some cloves. All right, I'm gonna taste this neat, no water added. So the nose has lost a little bit from sitting, but I'm telling you that mouthfeel, this has actually a decent mouthfeel for knowing that they've had to have chill filtered this. This is at 43% alcohol by volume. In Britain, and I don't know where else, I know at least in Britain where they make the stuff, it's bottled at 40%, and somehow in the US we get it at 43%. I don't know why we're so spoiled. It's the market, apparently. We wanted it. I mean, if I was being genuine, if they were being real with us, it'd be at 46 for all of us. I understand there's probably tax stuff going on with it, but whatever it might be, I don't know. Let me get back on the taste here. Almost fishy, salty, definitely smoky. There's oak notes there, but it is hiding behind a lot of smoke going on here. I usually like to add water to well, not always, but I like to add water to my whiskey. I'm going to have to go find my water. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. Ended up having to go with the old gallon trick like I used to do. See, this has been a long time. Not a whole lot of water, just a little bit. Instantly sweeter. Almost like a flower just jumped out of this glass, like a peat flower. I'm glad I went and got that water. Thank you, water. I don't know if I would like whiskey as much if it wasn't for water. And that's something I don't know if I've ever thought about until just this moment. But I'm pretty sure I don't know if I'd like whiskey the same way if I couldn't add water to it. Or some clean water anyway. Not chlorine water. Don't do that. I mean, if you have to, if it's real strong and that's all you got. If you got bottled water or distilled water, I always try to use distilled water. I know it's a waste of bottles, but we use it for all sorts of stuff anyway. Wow. Yep. Sweeter wood. Vanilla is coming out to meet me. Smoky vanilla. Let's taste this. So much better with the water. And it's like, it's exploding with more flavor. It's not as oily feeling right now, now that this water is in here. The mouthfeel has diminished some. But the way it's coating my palate now as compared to it being this astringent flavor going on, this is good. This is why I liked it so much. I want to end up buying another one of these bottles here again shortly. And I also want to make it clear that when I had mentioned the 4-ethyl guaiacol and the creosote, those are not the only phenol content, you know, as far as what's in this whiskey, but those are the ones that apparently John Campbell is saying that are the ones that kind of make this stand out a little bit more. So I didn't dig too much into this. As far as a script score on this, the Scotch Doctor, Dr. Dave here, is probably going to give this, let me hold this again. I want to move this over. I feel like I keep wanting to hold this bottle. Laphroaig 10. What am I going to give this? 86 out of 100. Man, I know I feel like I've rated a lot of bottles around 86 this year. I think because I try to buy bottles that I expect will be somewhere in that range, and I can't expect much better. Ratings are a little bit weird, but when I give this an 86, it's really basically saying like this is in the B something range and even better with price. It doesn't really compare with other bottles. I mean, this, even though it's at that, I might buy this before a bottle that I rate higher just because I'm going, you know what, I want that big peat kick. If you have not tried Laphroaig, if you're not huge into Scotch, I'm sure if you're drinking Scotch, you've had Laphroaig. It's just unique. It's really neat. And if you don't like it right at first, put it back. You know, put it up in the cupboard. Keep coming back to it here and there. You know, something that I've really learned recently. I've been in quarantine, not because I had COVID, but because I came into contact with somebody who had COVID. And I've been at home quite a bit lately, so I haven't been drinking or going out to go buy any beer or, you know, buy any extra little spirits here or there. I've been just kind of sipping on what's been in the cabinet and just having a few drinks here and there. And I think it's important to, if you find yourself drinking a little bit too much, and I'm definitely guilty of that, you know, to the third degree sometimes, you know, and I've been so much better in my slightly older age now than I was back in the past. But again, if you're finding yourself drinking a little bit too much, but you really like some Scotch whiskey, or if you're kind of wanting to get into it, buy a nice bottle. Spend a little bit of maybe what's out of your comfort zone. But if you already know you're going to be spending all that money on beer anyways, and you'd spend maybe double or triple that than you would on a $30 or $40 or maybe a $50 bottle of whiskey, because I know that's a lot. Or if your price range could be a little higher, that's fine. But what I'm getting at is when that's the bottle you have up in your cabinet and you're just pouring glasses of it and you're going, man, I can't be drinking this that fast. And maybe you guys are going to be a little different than me, but recently I've watched some of my bottles go down because I'm like, well, I want a drink. I'd like to have a drink, because usually beer for me can be just kind of, you know, beer, oh, on to the next. You saw the shotgun video. If you didn't see the shotgun video, don't watch that. That's pretty dumb. Just, you know, pay attention to the levels. It makes you mindful of the money that we're spending on it and how much we're consuming, rather than it just being a can that goes in the recycling container. It's your bottle that's up on your shelf and you're going, wait a minute, I spent $50 on this, or obviously a gift, but that's a $50 bottle. I can't just be pouring big glasses of that. And obviously it's not, when you break it down, the fact that there's 25 glasses or like 1 ounce glasses in this, it's not a terrible price at the end of the day, but it's still expensive. It's a lot of money, and especially if you just keep pouring glasses of it. So it's costly to your health, it's costly to your wallet, it's costly to your family, it's costly to your mind, it's costly to your productivity if you're doing too much of this. That smells like a funky Col Medina. Let me know if you guys need anything. Let me know if I can help you. Hope you enjoy your whiskey. Go ahead and give this a shot. 86 out of 100. Yeah, I don't have any Laphroaig left. No. Yeah, no Laphroaig. There's been a shortage lately. The doctor just simply can't get his hands on any. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a call.